Well, hi everybody. Just so happy to be here right now and doing this recording. I have some of my star VIP real estate coaching clients here with me, and I want them to tell how amazing things are going for them. I have Chad and Kerrie with me, and I'll let them tell a little bit more about what they're doing right now. But I just have to kind of go crazy over this in 1 month's time. Like they literally, I was looking the other day at how long, we've been coaching together. And it was literally like the first part of January that we signed on. In 1 month's time, these two are looking at expected returns of more than six figures, more than $100,000 expected returns. They've got two projects going now, and they'll tell you more about what's going on with that. So, but I want to hear from you all. I want to hear, all the things. So tell me, what were you doing and what were you thinking about before you got into this real estate investing, this flipping world that you're into now?
Well, with me, I was a service tech. I was working probably 65 hours a week minimum, flying all over North America. We were never getting to spend any time together. I was just killing my back. My hands were starting to hurt, and I was like thinking like, how long can I sustain this? I got maybe 6 more years and then I'm crippled up and then working for a corporation that, you know, would replace me in 20 minutes and just move on. That wasn't really worried about me being able to get around whenever I was 65 years old, not being able to play with grandkids or have enough money to even, go do anything other than pay for medication and, wheelchairs at the rate that I was going. And then, looking at zero control over my financial future, because I couldn't expect them to take care of it for me because they just wasn't. And then we started thinking about ways to like how can we make everything beneficial for ourselves and take control of where we want to be at in 10 years.
Cool.
So
All right. So this idea of real estate came up, and Kerrie, I think you'd been investing before. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'd invested in real estate for a long time before, but just very traditional, conventional methods of investing. And so, as Chad said, we were looking at like how we build a future quickly for ourselves. And when you started talking about real estate, it just really twigged that, hey, this is a great way to jump in and really take control of that future for ourselves.
Good stuff. And gosh, are you going there fast?
Mhm.
So when you say you were doing conventional investing, you mean you were just kind of like saving up the pile of money, and when you got the money, then you'd get the home loan and then you'd buy it. Is that what you were doing?
Yeah, so buying and renting, long-term tenant strategies, buying a house, selling it for capital gains, years later. So those sort of strategies. And then other investing was just your typical buying stocks and those sort of investing strategies.
Mhm. And so then you decided, well, let's just listen to her and see what we can have happen here, right? And so, in the month's time, tell us a little bit about what we met first and kind of put this idea together, right? And you guys had some thoughts about where you wanted this to go. How has that changed, or how is that different from when we first put our meeting together and what you were thinking when you first said, "Hey, can you help us do some real estate investing?"
Yeah, well, I think originally we're thinking, we'll do, I guess, a few flips. We're looking at a couple maybe every quarter throughout the year. And so once we started going, we jumped in, we got our first property within, I think, about 2 weeks of initially our first coaching session with you. And then, less than a week later, we're into the second one. So I feel like it just really, for me, put the plan in fast forward, and I can see the potential of where this can go, which I think will be a lot bigger than what we were originally thinking in that first meeting with you.
What were you thinking, like a few 100,000 or for the year, or what were you
yeah,
thinking? And what are you thinking now?
well, with Kerry already having her career going and stuff, was like more was looking at mine, and I was like thinking, okay, well, maybe if I could just double mine. So it would have been low. We were looking at roughly 300,000 to just double mine.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
then, here we are a month later, we're almost succeeded what I would have made in a year.
In one
So
month's time, making what you've made in a year. Wow. And you've left your job, right? Like
yeah,
this is what you're doing now, right? So not only have you made like looking at that income coming in and surprisingly, not for me, it wasn't surprisingly, but surprised you, but now you've left your job too, and this is what you're doing.
yeah, it's either make a little bit, just, doing it part-time or
Going all
going
in.
and going all in at 100% and then,
Yeah.
doing it all.
We wanted
Yeah.
to go all in, and now we can see, we can really see the potential of even a seven-figure year from
Yeah.
this.
When we were talking earlier, you said we can see seven figures. Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. It's so exciting for me. So exciting. So what do you think? Okay, so now you've got two projects. You've got them actually in different parts of the country. You didn't stay in one like area. One is your first project was how many hours from where you live?
8.5 hour drive. So
Depending on pay breaks.
yeah, well,
So
that's right.
Pee breaks, all the things. So about 10 hours, right? And so you didn't just say, "Oh, we're only going to be in this area." You were really looking for the deals wherever they come in the United
We're open.
States.
Yeah, we're definitely open to as we continue to look for more. We've been researching different areas, looking in different parts of the country. So
yeah, and a lot of that research went to like, where would we like to go spend some time at?
Yeah.
mhm.
So
Let's
like
go.
we could travel there. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
let's
Yeah.
get paid to go
Yeah.
check out a place that we want to be at, and you're basically living there somewhat part-time while you're in that project.
We want to
So
enjoy our lifestyle in the process of building this business. So
yeah, absolutely. So what's been surprising about this? Besides, we can make a lot more money than we even thought. We were trying to double his salary and get him out of his job. And I remember when you first met with me, you're like, in 2 to 3 months, he'll be leaving his job. And then, then all of a sudden you were like, Chad's leaving this Friday.
Yeah.
So what's been surprising along with the super income, the amazing, insane income?
well, for me, it's been just learning about different strategies. So, like I said, my real estate investing in the past has been very sort of traditional, conventional strategies. And what surprised me is you really can build a real estate business, and different strategies exist out there. Obviously, you've shared a lot of those strategies with us that I didn't know about in the past. For example, like I didn't know hard money lending was a thing to do flip houses, or different birth strategies. And so that has been, I think, one of the biggest surprises to me. And knowing that all this exists, how easy it is to build a business and focus on this.
Yeah, the money's easy and the idea is easy. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Chad, did you have?
Yeah, that was like the simplicity of it, because like you think about going into real estate investment and you're like thinking, oh, well, I got to have these millions of dollars, set in my bank account and do it all out of my money, and then there's so ways to do it like hard money lending, investors and stuff like that. And then you get into an easier way to do it. Like you go to an investor and be like, okay, I'm going to put a little, you're going to put a little in. So that way both of you are not taking, holding the full loan, you know, just how easy that was. So that way that you're not sitting there saying, okay, I've got to put in $500,000 into this to make 100,000, you know.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
like, okay, well, if I go in with another investor, I can put in 250. You put in 250. We're going to make 50 a piece, and we're going to do that 4 times a year.
There you go.
We all
So
make money.
what is holding you back right now? Is there anything holding you back? I mean, you're all in, you've got you're looking for two more projects, is there anything that's holding you back?
Finding investors, I wouldn't say that's holding us back, but we're just at the point that that's the strategy we now want to implement. And so looking for investors, so we can keep going at the pace. And again, the nice thing about that is we all win from that, right? So it's like sharing, and it's an easy way for other people that maybe don't want to get in and do these type of projects themselves, but they have money sitting there and they're looking for ways to invest. So, that's really where we're at that
Yeah.
point now.
That's interesting. I love that you said this isn't really holding us back. It's just a new strategy, and that you keep learning and implementing a new strategy, right? And so, now we're going to get the next projects and we're going to play with investors, right? And you guys know some people that have even come to you that have said, "Hey, I've got some money literally sitting around. And could you figure that out?" And they don't have the time, they don't want to go do this in this way, but you said, "We'll do it for you." And everybody wins. The neighborhood gets better looking. The person who moves into the flip has a beautiful property, because you guys are flipping residentially right now, right? Because you can flip any other
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
But and then the investor receives some pay, right? I mean, just taking their money and doing it for free, they get interest. And then you all provide the product and make some money too. So everybody wins. I love that. And I love that you're looking at this in terms of the next strategy and the next strategy. That's so cool. That's so cool.
Yeah, we really have to think of it like a business. And that's been one of the learnings for me in the month of working with you as well. I've always been passionate about real estate. There's pieces of it that I love doing, but it's also looking at it from an objective standpoint. And we need to act as CEOs of our businesses and think about different, business strategies and ways to grow this business as well.
Cool. Nice. So how are you feeling right now about all this? How's it feel?
Excited.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's exciting. I'm excited for
Exciting.
you. I mean, every day I like look on, how we communicate, and I'm like, "Doc, what are they telling me today? What are they doing today?" It's so good. So good.
And the nice thing for us too is we love that we're able to be in this business together and build
Yeah.
it together. And now, Chad's time's freed up, and we know that, when he's focusing on this, it's for us and for our future. And so I think that just really reinforces for us that it was the right approach, the
Mhm.
right way for us to go.
Love it. Anything that you'd say about your experience with me as a coach for real estate investing? And be honest, I can handle it. Oh my goodness, I hear a dog barking. Sorry about that. Sorry.
That's all right. The motivation, because, like there's a certain amount of fear, like with me and stuff, because I was looking, I was like, okay, I'm about to quit a pretty good job, and then just like, you're like, okay, Chad, this is what you can do, and this is what we're going to do, you know, and then I guess just the kick in the ass, like, like what are you waiting on? You can just sit there for another year, and then that you're in the exact same place that you were, you know, right now, or you can go get it. So that was the thing that I took the most from you, was it's like, okay, she's giving me the drive to go do it, and then she's got the knowledge to back up what I'm about to go do.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
so
it's the support. So it's the kick in the butt, but also you do that so lovingly with so much support too and encouragement. And so I think that's really where it's given us the confidence to jump in so quickly. Because we could do this ourselves, but we knew we wouldn't get anywhere near where we are today if we tried. And so having that support, having your knowledge and experience, and just you being so responsive, I think has really helped us, and pushing us to go bigger, to think bigger as well. And so that's really helped us create the vision that we have now, and just dive in, and do it in a way that we feel really supported and, confident in what we're actually doing.
Love that. Thank you. What would you tell people that are thinking about doing this, that have some money, have done it, maybe trying to save up to do this? I always loved real estate. I always thought about it like in the same place. And we want to build like long-term wealth. We want, all the things, but there's a risk. We don't know how. We're feeling overwhelmed. What would you tell them at this point?
it's way more simple than you think it is,
Mm.
because I remember the first house that I that I bought. Like you're sitting there, you're closing on it, and you're signing document after document after document, and it just seems so overwhelming. You're like, I don't know what all this is, da, 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 da. And you like get in that mindset. You're like, this is just insane. What is all this? and it's really not that complex. Whenever you start looking at it, you got a closing agent, you got a lawyer that does this and like that, and then you're just like, okay, and then you got to accept the fact these people are working for me. They're here to help me do all this stuff. I don't have to know, real estate law. That's what I'm paying this person for,
Right.
and like, I don't know how to close on a title. But it's just how overwhelming that you build it up to be, and then you get into it and you're like, wait a minute, this isn't all that. You know, I got I got this person that knows how to do that, and that person knows how to do this. I don't have to know how to do all that stuff.
Right. It's not
That's
it's
what
not
helped
as
me.
big as it has to be as you've
Yeah.
Yeah. And not letting fear get in the way too, because for people that have just their money sitting there in a bank account, for example, and getting little interest, or if they just don't even have it in an account, really the money is going backwards.
Right.
And so, it's easy to let fear get in the way,
Mhm.
but it's really working through that fear, and thinking about like, oh, investing doesn't need to be so overly complex. It can be, it can be more simple than we thought. Like I said, I was in that more traditional mindset, but once I learned these different strategies existed out there, it wasn't so complex. It is easy, and those strategies are accessible no matter your situation. And that's what I love.
Cool. Anything else you'd like to add? Anything you'd like people to know about this process? We're looking for you celebrating so much. You're at six figures in 1 month's time, an insane, but so doable and so capable, right? That anybody could do this, right? It's not like you, I mean, you are really special and you're really full of fire and you're really invested in this, but it's also other people could do it, right? And you're creating so much good, so much creativity. I know you like the creativity part of it, Kerrie. And so anything else you'd like to add as we watch you go to seven figures? We're going to check in again.
Yeah, just that it's doable, just to encourage
Yeah.
people, no matter, whether they're working in full-time jobs or like whatever the actual situation is. It's just so accessible. It's so accessible as a way to build that kind of long-term wealth, and being in it for yourself, building something for yourself as well. So that's really the one thing I'd encourage anyone that's thinking about it, just to understand it's so much more accessible, regardless of people's financial situation, work situation, all of that. There's definitely different ways of doing this out there. But
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, me too. It's like if you're not wanting to get into it and be as involved as me and Kerrie, like look at invested in it. Let your money work for you. Because I mean, what are your options? To go buy a CD and
Mhm.
make 1% a year, or get into mutuals and maybe collect 12 to 13% over 20? Like go let your money make work for you. You've
Yeah.
already made it and earned it. So now
Mhm.
let it work for you.
Absolutely. That's what I love too, is there's many ways to invest. There's many ways to do real estate.
Yeah,
It's just, so wide open. And you guys are flipping right now, but I know you're looking at other projects as well later on. And we're going to keep in touch. Thank you so much for this conversation. I'm sure other people have learned from you. Are you open to them sending you a little note? I'll tag you on
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
put it on
Yeah, you can,
Facebook.
yeah.
Get up with them, and I would love you to get up with me. And by the way, on the 25th of February, I am putting on a class called Fast Pass, your Fast Pass to Real Estate Wealth. Masterclass. It's absolutely free, and it's all of the things we've just talked about. How do you get into this? How much money do you need? How do you make, seven figures? What kind of money can you make? What do you invest in? All of those things in that masterclass. So I'd like to invite anybody who's listening to this right now to sign up. Just say me in the comments and we'll send you the information absolutely free. February 25th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I hope you guys will come too. You can maybe add something in. And we'll look forward to talking to you again soon. Thank you.
Thanks, Paula.
All right.
Let me